I want to take you back to the year 2006. A year where you would chat with your friends on Windows Live Messenger, write your stories on LiveJournal, play Wii Sports and watch ultra-violent flash animations on Newgrounds. However, while I was sending emails to my friends and family members with my newly registered Hotmail account and getting my computer infected with various kinds of STDs thanks to P2P sharing programs, some people were doing things that were much different. Some things that were unusual. Some things that were deviant and kind of insane. You have probably heard about some of the most famous opening lines in literature, such as "It was a bright cold day in April and the clocks were striking 13" from Orwell's 1984, or "It was of pleasure to burn" from Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. But have you heard of this one? Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, and I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. Author's note: if you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here! This brilliant opening line from My Immortal, one of the most celebrated pieces of literature ever written, is so well known for a reason. It gets right into the story, none of this cryptic bullshit like the other ones. It describes not just our main character, but the story as a whole. When you read this first line, you will know that you're into some deep shit. One day, the user xxxbloodywrist666xxx on the website fanfiction.net had decided to write a Harry Potter fanfiction. Nothing new, right? Well, you see, this one was a little different than the rest. Starring Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, this story really had something for everyone. With nearly every paragraph starting with Ebony slitting her wrists, some people have theorized it was actually satire, making fun of all fanfiction tropes. We don't know for sure, however, because the author, Tara, happens to be a rather mysterious person. We have 3 people who have contributed into this fanfiction. First one is Tara, the author. The second one is her friend named Raven, or Bloody Tears 666, and an alleged hacker who apparently wrote the 39th and the 40th chapters of the saga. After the release of the 41st chapter, all of these people have vanished, despite Tara saying that she will be back. People have searched everywhere trying to find the author, but she hadn't revealed many details that would lead to her identification. No one knew anything about her other than some small factors like these. If this fanfiction wasn't a troll and the author was telling the truth in her notes, the person we knew as Terry Gillespie, or xxxbloodyrist666xxx, was in high school at the time, liked goth aesthetics, loved Harry Potter, she liked doing drugs, had a friend named Raven, was a victim of online hacking, and wrote in very broken English. Basically, the internet detectives had pretty much nothing. A couple of years later, people have discovered a YouTube channel called xxbloodykissxx. This channel featured 2 girls named Tara and Raven, and they acted just like the people have expected.
Hey! What's up? I'm Raven, your acid bath princess of the darkness.
And I'm Tara.
And we're sitting here in Tara's room, rocking out to MCR and celebrating 2009, or the new year! Which we don't really understand why people are making such a big deal about it, because really, one more year is one more year that everyone's closer to death.
They never said they were the authors of My Immortal in their videos, but due to the way they talked, their hatred of plebs, which is a very big thing in My Immortal.
Anyway, so we don't like preps, and jocks fit into that category too. Preps or jocks.
And them being goths, people have managed to make the connection themselves. However, in one of their videos titled An Update, which was uploaded a couple of years after the conclusion of My Immortal, they say they are about to start high school.
Not a lot's really been going on. We're gonna start high school pretty soon.
This is weird, because when people talk about Tara, they always mention her being in high school. I don't know where that information comes from. Maybe it says it in one of the author's notes in My Immortal. However, even if she wrote such an information, she also said she was from Dubai, which is quite unbelievable, literally. So, My Immortal is probably not the most trustworthy source of information, you know. To this day, we don't know if these girls are the people behind My Immortal. Although the similarities are many, there are still similarities and cannot be used as evidence.
Tara, Good Charlotte is back. Ah! Oh my god!
So, people just gave up after a while. For 10 years, her work would continue to be spread all over the internet, with no sign of Tara. No one knew if it was genuine or intentionally bad. That is, until someone claiming to be the real Tara Gillespie came out of nowhere in March 2017. Rose Christo, an author of young adult novels, had quietly admitted to writing My Immortal on her Tumblr page. When her claim gained some attention, she began telling quite the backstory. According to her claims, the bad writing was intentional to gain attention. She was a victim of various kinds of child abuse, and was raised in foster care because of that. In her teenage years, she began searching for her younger brother, and apparently that was the reason behind this fanfiction. To gain attention on the internet and get help from the internet users to find her brother. Oh, and she was also a Native American from the Cree tribe, and she was also homosexual. Why did she add information regarding her race and sexual orientation, you might ask? Well, for no reason pretty much. This is Tumblr after all. However, her claims were not empty. Although not very strong, she had some proof apparently. She had an old USB drive containing the fanfiction, account credentials, and official court records proving her identity. While all of this was going on, another book was discovered, called Handbook for Mortals, which had similar writing to My Immortal. The sales of this book was artificially inflated to get it to the New York Times bestsellers list. People thought the author of Handbook for Mortals was the author of My Immortal. However, it was quickly debunked. What wasn't debunked this quickly, however, was a person's claims on the website Kiwi Farms, which is a community that has a main goal of basically making fun of people on the internet, or lolcows. This guy made a post on there in September 23rd, claiming to be
Rose Christo,
his brother. He said her name is Teresa Christodoulopoulos, she wasn't raised in foster care, and they were white, not Native American. The admins of Kiwi Farms have actually verified his identity through an old photo on Facebook. He also uploaded a photo of his sister on there. Although the reputability of Kiwi Farms is questionable at best, his claims were a whole lot more believable than Rose Christo on Tumblr. Maybe an old photo on Facebook is not the strongest evidence, and her brother making a post on the internet basically doxing his sister is a little weird, but at least it was something, because the evidence that Rose Christo of Tumblr had were crumbling. First, it was revealed that she photoshopped her identification records, which she later confessed to, and she said the reason was to protect her family's identity. The names of the accounts that she had access to also appeared to be changed at some point, and the USB drive is not really evidence of anything if you think about it. All of these revelations led to some fiery tweets by her and the cancellation of her memoir, which talked about her life. At the end, she had to accept at least some of the things that appeared on Kiwi Farms, and she later closed her Tumblr account. Her case was discarded as nothing more than a petty attempt at a cash grab by manipulating the people of the internet, mainly Tumblr. At the end, things have gone full circle. We still don't have a strong enough lead. There are some people who still believe in Rose Christo, but I disagree. Her image has been ruined because of the lies she told, and looking at the conversations she and her brother had, I wouldn't say she is the most mentally stable person. I just don't believe her, and if she did write it, then, well, tough luck. I also want to clarify that Tara and Raven from YouTube don't look anything like the person in the picture Rose's brother has uploaded on Kiwi Farms, and also Rose already had denied that she was one of those girls. So, the choice is yours. Do you still believe Rose after all of the lies she told? Do you think the girls on YouTube are the people behind it? Or do you believe neither? Personally, I think we can rule Rose Christo out unless she finally comes out with some definitive proof in the future. Maybe the real author will come forward one day, but until then, the real identity of Tara Gillespie will stay as one of the biggest mysteries on the internet.